Hello, I'm Darren from Isotonik Studios, and I'm about to run you through the enhanced feature set of the Circuit Editor Pro. Now, this isn't going to be a sound design tutorial. I'm simply going to run through the added enhancements that we've made for this Pro edition of the editor. We've basically rebuilt it from the ground up. Now, the first reason for that is the original editor couldn't make changes at a quick enough speed for it to be used for automation in Ableton Live. It also means that we're able to separate both synths so that all of the elements can be automated at the same time, as opposed to just the synth that's actually in focus in the editor. You'll be aware that we've changed the zoom functionality so it can go from 50% up to 250. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it here. As you can see, my circuit is attached. Now I'm going to run through the various view controls, but the first thing I think we should make mention of is some of the updates that we've made to the patch handling. Hardcore sound designers have mentioned to us that actually the process of creating up to 64 patches, where you get the current patch from the circuit, edit it, upload it to the circuit, etc., can be fairly time consuming. So we have added in a number of keyboard shortcuts effectively that are based around where your mouse is hovered. At the moment, clicking Get Current Patch from Circuit will just grab the currently in control patch, display it here, and pull all the details through to the macro controls and the Synth Engine. But if you hover over and press the Shift key, you'll notice that now we can get all of the patches from Circuit and then play around with them. Equivalent as well, we also have the ability in here, whilst we can load the bank from disk, which is often in many cases a selection of 10, 16, 32 patches perhaps, and the rest being the factory settings, we can also load a folder from disk. Now if I click on that, it's going to bring up my effective folder structure, and in fact in here within my team Innovation, we've been storing the packs from the Isotonik circuit artists. I've actually got a pack here which is made up of the various components of both Tom Cosm's, Lightfinger, My Panda Shall Fly, and Emi Nona, the next 4 packs that we're releasing alongside this Pro editor. Now how this works is very simple. It reads the number of the patch. So here you'll see number 14, Snapper L, which indicates it's one of Lightfinger's patches. And if I open that, it will overwrite the patches in the number position as dictated by the name. One of the other advantages of us rewriting the engine from scratch was the ability to simply audition patches on the plus or minus. So as you're playing your patch directly from the circuit, you can quickly move between them quite simply. We also have added a shift functionality to the initial current patch, so you can initialize all patches as well, so you can start from scratch. You'll be aware of the macro view. What we've done in here this time is we've now offered you the option of copying and perhaps pasting an individual macro to another slot position, or indeed copying and pasting to all of the positions. Now that might be strange, but it also allows us the ability with our macro control hover over to reset the macros to 0. And pressing Command allows us to copy those, and we can either paste that, obviously there's changes have been made, to the selected patch, or if we've copied, we also have the ability to paste it to all patches, which I know is one of the feature requests that was very high up the list of rankings with regards to people wanting to set up consistent macros across various presets. Now within the Synth Engine control, each of these elements, as you know, is well published and you can change through. But for example here, we have the ability to reset with a hover over, or if we press Command, where there's a tab, we also have the ability to bring up the actual choice of waveform, for example, and the same is the case with our LFOs. Each individual option can be reset, and you'll notice that each of the headings, whether they're in a dial or they stand alone, can be used as that reset button. One of the feature requests that came across was the ability to see on the mod matrix tabs where mappings existed. So if I just move across here, you can see that's pretty blank. But if I were to change one of the settings, you can now see that the tab has turned, we'll call it purple. The patch store you can launch from the Sigable Isotonik logo down here, and that will take you to a curated store of some really cool patches, which again you can load from the disk. One of the things we've extended with this version is the session control. We've got the reverb, the mixer, the filter and the delay, which of course now can all be automated within Ableton Live, plus the Synth 1 and Synth 2 sidechain. In addition, we've given you control over the drum 1, 2, 3 and 4, and as with all of the sections, any changes that you make can either be simply reset from this position or from the master control as well. That's really improving the workflow. I'm going to take us back to full now, because one of the biggest changes that we've made is this additional button here, which is the randomizer. Effectively, Random will take all of the parameters that are on display and assign some randomized values to them. Now this can create quite a bit of chaos, so we've advanced things and added a little bit of intelligence into it. Simply select the randomizer and you'll see each of the sections that are available. Lighting the macros button, for example, will randomize, when we press the randomize button, all of the macros that are here. We'll give that a go. As you can see, lightning fast. Let's clear those again. Perhaps though, we only want to randomize maybe the first 2 macros, the top line, so we can do it in that way. What you'll also see as well as you go around the patch is whilst hovering over will give you a reset, pressing the shift key will give you a random function, and clicking that will randomize the section here. Hovering over a tab that's currently in focus again will give you that randomization option. When it comes to the mod matrix, you can randomize individual elements. For example, we want to mod all of them, which might be a bit crazy, and you may find that in many cases will almost nullify your signal, or you can take out some. Now the full details of the randomization functions are provided in the manual, which is now available for download on the web page, but we've got 3 distinct different ways of doing things. You've got the absolute, which you can set a range from minimum up to maximum, the affinity, which will move you from positive and negatives, and the center point as well. Clipping will bring the parameter within the range. Within relative as well, we have a range to move from the current setting, and you can move directly up from that. So all parameters will move up to a range of perhaps plus 24 or down minus 24%, or indeed both to give it a bit more randomization. And you can increase or decrease the noise. The final part is the preset. Now the preset works on the patch numbers, and you can select maybe patch 6 and patch 10 and move between which one of the 2 takes preference, if it's patch 1 or patch 2, and again add some noise. All of the time observing what's highlighted. Hell, let's go for everything. And all of the parts there. Clicking randomize, and the whole lot will update. Now this is version 1 of our Pro editor. We plan on developing it further, taking of course the feedback from you, the users, and the people in the circuit owners group on Facebook. We've developed this as a result of the requests that we've been receiving for the last year for the free editor. We hope you like what we've come up with, and we really look forward to seeing what you create with it. Thanks for watching.